American criminals are often copycats. Identity theft and home invasions are now all the rage. But during the ongoing depression of the 1930s, another type of crime exploded: kidnap for ransom. Big-name bank robbers added this crime to their repertoires. Machine Gun Kelly, Babyface Nelson, Pretty Boy Floyd, Alvin Creepy Karpus, and the Barker Gang all began snatching people off the streets. Kidnapping for ransom became a national epidemic. In 1933 alone, there were more than 2,000 cases across the country. Congress passed the Federal Kidnapping Act in 1932, giving the FBI jurisdiction if the matter crossed state lines. In 1938, a blonde 5-year-old tricycle-riding tyke went missing in the farming hamlet of Princeton, Florida, on the edge of the Everglades in South Florida. The parents, Bailey Cash Sr. and his wife Vera, were a working couple of modest means in their mid-30s. Their son, Bailey Jr., whom folks referred to by the family name Skiki, had just been put down to sleep in his crib by his mother. Vera Cash kissed her son goodnight and headed out the back screen door, locking it behind her. But that night, while Bailey and Vera were counting the day's grocery and gas receipts, someone was at the back screen door of the house, looking for an easier payday. He knew the boy. He knew the layout of the house, too. There, in the dark, the kidnapper took out 2 pieces of cloth, one to cover the boy's eyes, and the other to shove in his mouth to stop him from crying out.
That's it. Now you stay quiet, you hear?
In the filling station office less than 100 yards away, Bailey and Vera were finishing up for the night. They locked up and walked back across the driveway to their home.
Now what is with this door? You locked the screen door, honey?
I always lock the door. Skiki? Bailey, have you got Skiki?
Word spread fast, and not long after...
We heard Skiki's gone. I found this note attached to the door handle addressed to you, Bailey Cash.
We have the child. You will follow these instructions. Notify any officer and you won't see him again. The child will be released in a few hours if all instructions are followed and no one notified. Any slip-up, and you won't see him again.
This can't be happening. This can't be real. Bailey, what are you gonna do? We gotta call the police.
FBI Special Agent Arthur Rutson put a call into the director of the famed, but not yet legendary, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Mr. J. Edgar Hoover. But there were problems. In Washington, some in Congress didn't like the thought of a national police force infringing on state and local sovereignty. But J. Edgar knew how Washington worked. One good case, one big success that got the press and public cheering, could save the agency he had schemed and connived for a decade to build. The Skiki Cash kidnapping was the first and only time J. Edgar Hoover left the safety and comfort of his bureau desk and went into the field to personally take charge of an investigation. Bailey Cash left his home and drove the route along dark local roads to drop off the $10,000 ransom money. The route directed by the kidnapper was a 10-mile rural stretch of limestone roads. Skiki's father hadn't even gone a mile when, out of the darkness, in a small orange grove,
Oh my God.
he was now being watched. He had followed his son's kidnapper's instructions to the letter. Now he'd get his boy back. But only time would tell, and not much time at that either, whether the kidnapper would live up to his part of the bargain and whether the 5-year-old Skiki would be returned to his family, dead or alive.
You can find Murder, Mischief, and Mayhem wherever you listen to your podcasts.